Hello everyone, I'm the Max from Guitars, and this is Let's Play Saga. Last time we left off, we completed all zones mode with Cadence, and it went pretty well. It, the same thing as the regular story, the exact same thing, it's just you have to do it all in a row and on a harder difficulty. And now we're doing Bard all zones mode, so it's the same thing as the other all zones mode, except we have a new character. But it's the same thing, same levels, same style. The only difference, though, is since it's not story-related, we don't have to fight Dead Ringer or the Necrdancer, because those are both story-related bosses, and they are not in any of the other characters' modes that aren't related to story. Anyways, Bard, Octavian the Bard, is the Necrdancer himself before he became the Necrdancer, and because of this, he does not have to move to the beat of the music. So the way his gameplay works is whenever I move, and I'm playing as Bard, so whenever I move, the enemy moves right after me, and there's no beat, so the music totally doesn't matter in this mode. Story-wise, there really isn't a story, which is kind of weird, because obviously every person who has ever done anything in video games knows that all the people want a good story, and they want a story that makes sense, and they want to connect all the little things to make it perfect. So this is one of those games where they don't really give you a story, that we don't have really a timeline, so we don't know exactly where this takes place, but this is definitely, it's shown later, like there's cutscenes with Octavian in them later on in the story. I'm not going to say when, because that would kind of spoil it, but eventually there are, and he is definitely the Necrodancer. So, like I said, I have no idea when this takes place, though. I'm assuming it takes place first in the entire universe. This is the first thing that ever happened, because according to the story, he found the lute and, was like all obsessed with the beautiful sound it made, and he was like going through hard times. So he played his lute and he was like, whoa, this is so cool, I love this music, but then it brought everything to life, and he's like, oh my god! And this is, I guess, him trying to show everyone who's boss, because he's boss, because he's the one with the loot. I don't know why he's not using it. Maybe he doesn't know if he can use it as a weapon. Or maybe, I don't even know, maybe there's just no explaining it. Maybe it's just one of those things where you can't really explain it and, like, logically put it into the timeline. But that's the way I see it. Anyways, I should probably be talking about the gameplay here, but really, it's just the same as Cadence, only slower, and you get to stand still and sort of think about your next move. Now, because I was being stupid, I got hit by bats, and as I've said before, I absolutely despise bats, because the extremely annoying thing is all the bats' patterns are completely random. I mean, they move to a specific beat, but it's still completely random, and in this case, they don't move to the beat, they move to U, because there is no beat. Well, there still is music, but, I mean, you know what I mean. There's no beat that they're moving to anymore, it's just they move after you do. So, I guess I'll just talk about what I'm doing here. So, doing my basic strategy of lure out the enemy, sort of try and get them to come after me. I see that red dragon down there. Obviously I can't get that whip, but I don't really want it. I don't know if I've said this before, but really, any weapon that can hit from 2 spaces away is going to be your best bet. So here's me slowly like, okay, so I'm gonna lunge at it, because the thing about the rapier, right, is you have to lunge with it, and then there's me using the box and the spikes. So I think, yeah, I eat the chicken wing, or the drumstick, whatever you want to call it, and then I just buy a new one, and then I get that torch and some chainmail. So yeah, definitely your best bet is using a weapon that can hit from 2 spaces away, but with a rapier you have to be careful, because you might accidentally lunge into the attack of your enemy, and that's especially dangerous with something like a dragon, because they do a ton of damage. There's a little room of bats, and none of these traps affect me anymore because of the boots that I have. And with a titanium rapier, since you do double damage when you lunge, I'm doing 4 damage, so I can pretty much one-hit most of the regular enemies that aren't, like, later on, I think when I get into Zone 2, like, you have the Golem, which you can't one-hit, but I also have good old, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say so. Oh yeah, the obsidian shovel. Thank you for using it, past self, so that I could remind future self that I was going to talk about it. Well there, I was like, oh well, crap, since I was stuck in the water, like, oh, there's nothing I can do, so I'm gonna get hit there. So I like froze there for a sec. But yeah, I'd really like the obsidian shovel because you can get 3 dig power. Now a lot of people like the blood shovel because you can dig anything no matter what, but you take damage. Personally, I feel like that is terrible because most of the time what'll happen is I'll accidentally dig something I can't dig, and I feel like it's more important to lose your multiplier if you're on a character that can afford to lose their multiplier. Because if you're on like Aria mode, you can't lose your multiplier because you'll die. You might accidentally dig something and kill yourself, and that's just not cool. So if you're going for a score run, however, you can use the blood shovel to dig the shopkeeper's walls, which will give you a ton of extra money. And since that's how score runs work, you're obviously gonna want to get as much money as possible. But I'm not going for a score run. I'm just trying to make it to the end alive. Which you guys, I don't know if you guys prefer like the commentary where I'm like sitting there and like, you know, actually playing it and giving my commentary while I record it at the same time, then go ahead and let me know and I'll go back to that. But this is just easier for me, so I'm just going to keep it this way. So if you saw there, when I picked up these levitation boots, I blew up the box that it was in, and that's something that I just found out recently. Was I didn't even think about it. If you're 2 spaces away from a box that you can hit, like if, let's say you can hit 2 spaces away and there's a box in front of you, you'll just jump towards it instead of hitting it if you're 2 spaces away. Which is kind of annoying because to break a box you need 3 damage, and if I would have been able to lunge at it, I would have done 4 damage and wouldn't have had to waste a bomb. But sadly, that's just not the way it works. There's me done this level a bit. No, am I gonna? Yeah, I left. Because I was like, nah, I don't want to risk it. So that's something obnoxious. Yet again, anything that won't get knocked back by your rapier or insta-killed by it if you jump into its attack. That always sucks. Obviously, normally the only glass thing I'll ever buy, unless I'm like playing as a character that can't take any damage, I'm normally just gonna go for the glass armor, but since I already had chainmail, I was like, nah. And as you just saw there, I accidentally ate something. I don't know if you were paying attention, but I got some extra health because I accidentally ate something, and I was like, oh man, I'm upset about that. And then there's me grabbing an extra heart. And then there. I should have attacked the guy on top first because the guy next to me, to the left of me, wouldn't have hit me. So I should have done that. Just me looking back at my mistakes and being ashamed. And see, there was me making the mistake I was just talking about, saying, you know, don't lunge into your enemy's attack unless you're gonna kill them. So I've been practicing a lot since I recorded this. I recorded this, I'm gonna say 3-4 days ago maybe. And I just haven't had time to edit or upload it or film my commentary because I've been so busy with other things. Like the Best Of finale, which if you guys haven't seen, I highly recommend going watching the Best Of finale because it is just, it took a lot of time, and it's not me playing video games, it's an actual short film, it's a movie, it's only 10 minutes. I highly recommend it because I think it's hilarious and I think you guys will love it. Now here's something I didn't realize until after playing this. If that mole there is that was chasing me and I like dug to get it to pop out, if it is an odd number of spaces away from you, then you can just walk right into it and it'll pop its head out, so you don't have to dig. I hate red bats so much. I don't know what that ring does. I don't remember if I picked it up, because I've got like the health ring. Oh, see there, I just figured it out. I think that's the first time I figured it out. I'm like, oh, if I just step towards it. And then there's me being like, oh, I can't blow it up because I got my levitation boots and I'm not wasting a bomb on some coins because I got the monocle so I can see what's inside. All about the items. All about your items. going ahead and just dealing with the bad guys ever so slowly because I'm trying to like make sure that I don't get hit because Bard does not have that much health. Bard has less health than Cadence does, so it's a little nerve-wracking. Keep grabbing a bomb, and there you can see I'm just funneling them all out and taking them out one by one. Always the best strategy. Then I wait for this guy, take him out, and now it's just me and the bat. As far as I know, I think there might be one other enemy in this room because there's like dark. Yeah, there's an armadillo over there. I just had to get a good lunge off because I couldn't one-hit that boss. And I took out the armadillo and I'm on to the second boss. King Konga, and we don't have to worry about the skipping the 8th beat on this. So I think I just go for the bomb strategy. I don't remember if I've ever done this before on camera. I can't remember if I take out his whole conga line or if I just do the bomb strategy. Yeah, I do the bomb strategy. So I blow up his throne and then you don't have to kill his conga line. You can just worry about him. I end up just killing his conga line anyway, which doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I kill his entire conga line anyway, so it didn't matter. And then I can see all of these things. I'm pretty sure, I can't remember what I go for. So I'm pretty sure I go for this sword here to get extra damage because since I rarely lose my multiplier, I don't have to, you know, worry about losing damage because obsidian weapons are entirely based on your multiplier. So the other thing that I was thinking of picking there was that thing that wards off all the ghost type people, like that, I can't remember what those are called, the purple ones. I know the red versions of those are called wraiths. I think they're called ghouls, the purple version. But it gets rid of all those types of enemies, but I figured since I can just... Really the only thing that makes those dangerous is the fact that you have to like act fast and take them out, but since I can go as slow as I want because I'm playing as Bard, there's really no point in grabbing one and I'd rather have the sword. Which is what I chose. And at this point I'm like, okay, I've got really good items. This is like normally around the time I get to Zone 3, I just try and find the exit as quickly as possible because normally I'll have so much good gear that I won't have to worry about it anymore. I'll be like, okay, I just need to get to the end now, so I just need to not die. Which is what I'm attempting to do. So that's sort of my formula once I get to Zone 3 and I'm sort of happy with my items, is always go to the shop, just in case, because you never know when they might have something amazing, like an extra heart container or something like that. And once you found the shop, just bolt for the exit and don't bother looking around for any other items. Although you can sometimes find super awesome items in boxes, honestly, most of the time I'd say it's just not worth it. So I just go to the shop and see what they have and don't bother looking around because in the end, it's more important to just stay alive. And then, I can't remember if I kill these guys for coins or if I just go to the exit. I think I get those guys and then that and then I just leave, yeah. And then here we are. So I'm pretty sure I get that heavy plate armor over there because I can afford it. Good. Monocle is awesome. That's my favorite type of headgear is the monocle because just being able to see everything on the map or every item is so helpful. It's just unbelievable. And I could kill the shopkeeper here, but I'm just like, nah, no point. And since I've already got an obsidian shovel, I don't bother with the titanium one because the obsidian one, as long as I keep my multiplier, will dig more. And as I have to think about, I hate these goblins. And he just teleports. I'm like, oh, okay, never gonna see him again. And I'm here. I look at my options to transmogrify, and I'm like, all my stuff's already awesome. So what's the point? And that's something awesome about charms, which is I just picked up one that gives me extra defense, but I love the fact that you can carry as many charms as you want. There might actually be a limit to the amount of charms you can carry, but it's a ton of them if that's the case, because I've never reached the limit before and I've had like 3 at a time. I think more than that, I think I've had more like 4 at a time even. They all stack up. So here I can like hear the Banshee screaming, and I just 2-shot it because I'm doing so much damage at this point. I'm stupid and I get hit there by a Yeti, which kind of upsetted me a little bit. And there's me sort of thinking about it. And then freaking Leprechaun. I think I just let this one get away because I don't want to bother, like, worrying about it, so I just leave. And then here's Death Metal, who's no problem, because really the thing that makes Death Metal difficult is the fact that you have to go so fast. So I'm pretty sure I take him out no problem, because I'm going so slow, because I'm Bard. I am the Necrodancer. That sounds like the name of like a band. I am the Necrodancer? Maybe. I mean, I'm pretty sure Necrdancer is trademarked because I don't think I've ever heard Necrodancer anywhere else before. And I'm pretty sure I grabbed this transmute spell because everything else is pretty much worthless and I don't think I use it. Now, a lot of people are confused on what transmute does. I honestly think it's basically, it's very particular. So the way transmute spells work are when you use it, every single item on the ground gets changed to a different item, just a random different item. And personally, I feel like that's just not at all worth it. So I almost never, it's a totally worthless spell. Now, if you're like surrounded by a ton of worthless items and you use them all, then you can be like, yeah, I'm just gonna use this, and then you end up getting really lucky and get a good item. Like, maybe if you got like a really crappy thing that you don't want to use, and you know, maybe you use one of your transmute spells, and then boom, you got an extra heart container. All good to go. Now there, I just sort of had a spaz attack back and forth because I could see my screen was shaking, and I knew the boss was near me, so I just shook back and forth until the boss showed up so that I wouldn't risk getting hit in case it was like a dragon or something that had range. But it was just a nightmare, so it was no big deal. And luckily, because I have my Boots of Levitation, I don't get shrunk by the goo that the Ooze Golem drops, so I can take him out no problem. And really, Bard mode is really just way easier than Cadence. Like, it took me I think it only took me like 3 tries to get Bard All Zones mode, and it took me like 40 tries to get it with Cadence, so maybe I've just gotten a lot better. I think it's both. I think not only have I gotten a lot better, but also Bard is just really easy. You know, not being forced to dance to the music definitely changes the entire game. It sort of defeats the purpose of the game, honestly, but, you know, whatever. And then I just go in here. I think I grabbed the compass, just because it doesn't, you know, it's super cheap and it doesn't hurt to be able to know where the exit is. So, you know, I have to search less. So I pick that up, and then I'm on to the next level. I accidentally get confused there, because I'm just not thinking. And I just keep going through the crypt. Can't remember exactly. Yeah, that's something that I hate, is those freaking teleportation guys, especially if you have something. I think I talked about this, I definitely talked about this in my last Let's Play, because in my last playthrough that had Cadence All Zone mode, I had a rifle, so I was talking about how the teleportation guys, if you have a lot of range and you hit them from far away, you never know where you're going to end up in. There's been several times where that's ended my run, where I've had too much range and ended up getting killed by the teleporting guys by getting teleported to a ton of enemies. And you can see, I see the boss there, so I just let him out, get him swing at me, sort of clear out the area as much as possible before I attack him, and then just take him out, no problem. Also, something that I really like about this game is the fact that every single character has their own unique voice actor, I believe. So, like, Bard has a totally, obviously, different voice than Cadence. Probably because he's a guy, you know, and then there's me getting hit twice like an idiot. But yeah, I really like the voice actors for this game, because not only is the acting good, but just the voice actors suit the characters really well and their personalities. Bard just seems like such a happy, confident guy until he, you know, was driven insane by the power of his own music. That's never fun. Curses are never fun, ever. And here I am on the last level before the boss level, the final level. So this is the second to last level. And, you know, I'm just clearing out enemies. At this point, I don't think I'd even look for a shop, because, like, maybe an item would help me with the last boss, but honestly, at this point, it doesn't really matter because I'm so decked out already. Because I've got that sweet armor, the sweet sword. I've got levitation and a monocle. I'm basically totally set to go. And then there was me. Something that took me a while to figure out is the golems with their eyes closed. Like right there, I just got hit by one. The golems with their eyes closed. They have a chance to explode or like chase after you when you get next to them. But if you're in a square diagonal to them, you can only activate them if you're standing right next to them. So like, normally I'll try and jump backwards, but the thing is, if you, like, let's say there's a wall or something, if you end up standing in a square right next to them and then try and get out of their range by going up or down instead of directly back, then you're gonna end up getting hit by their explosion radius. What I just said was probably really mathematically complex and you didn't even want to think about it, but that's okay, I don't blame you. I don't like math either. No, I'm pretty sure I just get the heck out of here. I don't remember if I like take out these bad guys or... Yeah, I just get out. And then here I am, Coral Rift. This is the last level because we don't have to worry about like the Necrdancer or the Dead Ringer, obviously, because if the story is accurate, then neither of them exist yet, and therefore there would be no way we could fight them. I'm pretty sure I'd use my Fire Scroll, and then I just end it, because there's no point in picking up an item just so that you could win the game. So there we go, I got the achievement down there. Beatless Beatdown, I believe is what it's called. But yeah, that was it. That was Bard. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Sorry if I'm sort of rambling and being unfunny, but like I said, I've been working for like 5 hours straight. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the Bard Let's Play. The Bard All Zones mode, I should say. The Bard part of the Let's Play. And I guess we'll probably try another character later on. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, bye!